In your testimony, you stated that the EPA has proceeded to begin limiting carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gas pollution from the largest emitting categories of mobile and stationary sources. EPA said that absent the tailoring rule, 82,000 sources would need PSD permits annually, and over 6 million sources would need operating permits. Does the EPA believe it has the legal authority to regulate all these sources?
The legal authority to regulate, yes.
Okay, yes, the answer is yes. Will EPA be expanding the number of sources in future years?
It will depend upon the assessment we make, and we'll do a report on that, and we'll see what we can do and what streamlining opportunities there are.
So the answer could be yes? It might expand?
I would not want to presume what we're going to do in the future. I know what we are doing now and in the record that.
But the answer is not no.
It's not no, correct.
Okay. There are more than 70 source categories and subcategories regulated under the NSPS program. Are the over 70 sources categories all potentially subject to greenhouse gas NSPS standards?
Are they potentially?
Yes.
Yes.
So they are all potentially, all 70 sources are potentially, okay. And then the other question I have for you is back in 2008, EPA published a notice that listed numerous source categories that could be subject to greenhouse gas regulation under the Clean Air Act in the Federal Register. Besides utilities and refineries, there was a very long list. Are there any of these sources that you would exempt from regulation? Utility boilers.
We make individual case judgments on where the sources of pollution are, the risks they pose, the technologies available, and whether or not NSPS is a good tool.
So you wouldn't exempt that ships, ocean-going vessels, aircraft and aircraft engines?
We're addressing those issues through litigation
locomotives,
as well as other responses.
Locomotives, non-road vehicles. What about non-road vehicles?
I haven't made that judgment, and we haven't made that scientific or technological assessment. Haven't made that assessment.
Dirt bikes? Snowmobiles? Any of those that you would exempt?
I'm not in a position to exempt or assess any of those at this point.
Marine engines? All-terrain vehicles, ATVs? Nothing?
I'm not going to make an assessment of that, and I'm not going to indicate what EPA's judgment might be in the future.
Okay, let me just read a few more of these. Let me read a few more of these. Passenger buses, air conditioning, cooling systems, highway and non-road fuels, farm tractors, forklifts, harbor crafts, lawnmowers, string lawn trimmers. Would you exempt string lawn trimmers?
I'm not going to make any judgment about the future of EPA's action.
Portable power generators, handheld lawn care equipment, leaf blowers, trimmers, construction equipment, cement kilns, iron and steel production facilities, lime industry, chemical manufacturing, commercial buildings. These are all part of a long list. And the tailoring rule ratchets down. And so when you talk about the fact that, this tailoring rule, we don't know what's going to happen, that's the uncertainty that exists with businesses. That's the uncertainty that exists in the economy. And so you're saying you're not going to regulate it now, but we don't know what you're doing in the future.